Okay, so I have a very, very special episode for you. And today we're going to talk about the topic of the mindset for growing your business, but it's a little different episode. I'm teaching it quite differently than probably most of the things that you have ever seen out there. So here's the problem in the market. As you know, the vast majority, and I mean over 90% of coaches are failing completely. And the problem isn't lack of mindset education and practices and tactics and strategies and whatever you have, right? The problem also isn't a lack of trying. There's a lot of people working really, really hard and they're still not getting there. So I want to talk about why that is in the human condition that led us there. So, and maybe you've heard me talking about this before, but this is so important. When you were born here, when you incarnated into this body, here's what happened. You gave yourself a spiritual amnesia and you forgot everything. You decided to voluntarily get lost. You cut yourself mostly, you cut yourself from about 95% of your spiritual connection, your divine connection. You forgot who you are, and you give yourself a body that needs to be protected. And with the body comes the ego. Okay, so um, here's what happens. Right now, you're wandering in a lost land. You're kind of waiting in the dark, and you're going, okay, what am I supposed to be doing with this? Like, I have no idea what's going on. I have no divine guidance, no soul guidance. I'm trying to figure my way around. And I'm like, what is going on here? Right. And now what happens is that we start learning about what the world is telling us, what our parents tell us, what our peers tell us, what we see in the advertising, the television. You remember TV shows you used to watch as a teenager, and what did you make up about it, about how you should live your life? Like, that all affects you, and you made series of decisions. A lot of them happen very, very early in childhood, and you cannot even remember this. And so you build a bunch of identities and protective layers that kind of sort of became who you are. And a lot of it did not wind up very free and joyful and all those things, right? So think about this, right? Like, you just put together this identity Eva, that exists in the world, and sort of in this like self-protective way to keep herself safe, right? How do I keep myself safe and secure? Have food on the table, have money in the bank. How do I make sure I survive? How do I make sure people love me? How do I feel like you have a sense of control and sense of stability in this world that is so, so, so scary? Because I really have no idea. I'm so lost. I have no divine connection. It's kind of like crazy what we did to ourselves when you think about it, right? Think about this for a minute. You voluntarily undergone this total forgetting of who you are, and you put yourself into this crazy planet, and you're like, all right, let me do this. Let me see if I can figure my way out, if I can learn, if I can find my way back home. Do you see this? How crazy that is? Why did we do this? Why did we do this? The best answer I have is that we came here to contract so that we can expand. We came here to learn. We came here to, disconnect and get lost, so that we can wake up at a higher level. Okay, it's a little bit of a fun game that we're playing here, and it's very, very brave for us to be here. But if you're listening to this, then there might be a reason for it, and maybe we're a little bit of on the same journey of waking up, when we know that now is the time to be waking up and to be coming home and to be reconnecting to our higher selves and coming back to God. Okay, so And now, what are the symptoms? So basically, what happens is that you divorce yourself from your soul. You build on this sort of pretend set of identities, and now it's like life is kind of difficult, and you kind of, you're BSing your way through life and trying to figure out what your purpose is and all those things, right? And you're like, oh, what's my purpose? What's my purpose? It's like, you know, and it's very brave, but it's also like when you look at it from that perspective, I'm like, that's so crazy. Like, we really just don't know. It's so uncertain and so crazy, and we're still doing it. But anyway, here's some symptoms. How do you know you're lost? Because people, have a little bit of connection, but how do you know you're lost, right? There's an emotional roller coaster, right? There's an emotional roller coaster that goes on, and we are sick and tired of it, and we get snappy, and we get blamey with people. Um, we tend to just, we don't know who we are. We don't know what our purpose is. Like, sometimes we know, sometimes we fake it. Sometimes we kind of like are faking clarity in our business and in life. And it's like, yeah, I'm living my purpose. I'm building my business, but are we really, Sometimes we so badly want to feel like we're on purpose. And somebody else told us, well, if you build your business, you're going to have, it's going to give you meaning and purpose. But like, here we are, right? And still lost. And Scott is still kind of waiting in the dark, right? And if you're still having conversations with yourself about what your purpose is, and you're not exactly sure, and you don't know for sure, then you're still lost. Okay. Now, at the same time, I want to tell you one thing. You are exactly where you need to be. This is by design, right? There is nothing wrong with you. This is you and the rest of the world, and me and you and everybody else. Okay. We came to this world to get lost. We did it on purpose. It's by design. There's nothing wrong with you. And we have made a lot of choices in the dark. And some of them were not terribly integrous, right? Some of them were kind of stupid in retrospect. But they were out of innocence. They were out of protecting your body or your existence, your physical existence. And it was out of innocence and ignorance, right? Which is one and the same. So now here we are, right? And we're trying to find our way back home. And how do we navigate through this? How is, number one, everything is helping us find our way home. The universe is conspiring. The signs are everywhere, and your emotions are sort of like and your body and your health, it becomes this navigator, right? That is kind of telling you, that becomes your compass, that is kind of telling you what is happening. Am I heading in the right direction to find my way back home into my heart, to love, to unconditional love, to acceptance, to joy, to ecstasy, to peace, right? That's where we are all going. Like, that's what home is for us. Now we're like trying here, opening different doors, and some of them are like, okay, that feels okay. And some of the doors, whoa, some of the doors lead to emotional roller coaster, health issues, chronic pain, autoimmune disease, all of that stuff. Okay. And it really hurts. And here's what we do. We're like, wow, this is so painful. How do I fix this? And so we get into the world of fixing our emotional and bodily and mental issues, right? So we do everything we can to make ourselves feel better. We do the workshops, we attend the seminars, we do the landmark, the Hoffman, the Wim Hof, the psychedelics, the microdosing, the journaling, the, oh my God, like all the things, the yoga, the meditation, endless, right? Anything that we can, we try to do to sort of find our way to make ourselves feel better, because we don't like these feelings and the emotions that um, that that are being shown to us, that are being given to us when we try to fix it, right? And the emotions, like, those are really the symptoms. The body doesn't create its own emotions for no reason, right? And or its own sickness, right? Those are all things that are telling us, okay, am I on the right path? Am I in alignment? Am I headed in the right direction? Or did I make a mistake here? Did I make an error? And am I completely off track? And am I heading in the wrong direction? Okay. So here we are. We're waiting in the dark. We're lost. And at some point, when we have tried just about everything to fix ourselves and to make ourselves feel better and make these emotions that are telling us, wait, this is so off. Like, come on, wake up. You are so off track. Like, come back home. This is what matters. This is where love is. Come back here. We're like, no, I don't want to hear it. I just want to fix how I feel. I just want to feel better. And I want to keep on this path that my ego wants, right? So, so we're very stubborn. And then we really focus on fixing our bodies and, fixing the disease and fixing the emotions. And we're not dealing with the underlying problem, which is we're off course. We are off course. We are lost. And instead of getting less lost, we're getting more lost. So, what now? What now? What now? What now? Right? What now? We start building our business that we think is finally going to give us the sense of purpose, right? We try to do better. We try to be better. If I just can be the perfect human being, if I can just do more gratitude and do more mindset stuff, do more workshops and do more yoga and be better leader, have a bigger business and be a better parent and more perfect parent, I can put my kids through better schools. I can, blah, blah, blah. It's just like endless, right? And but that's, that lasts, and that it gives you like a temporary release when you say, okay, yes, I did the yoga, I checked all my boxes. And then, then you go back to your emotional roller coaster, and your bodily problems are still there. And then you go in this endless search loop to try to figure it out, right? Like, how do I figure my way out of this hamster wheel race of finding happiness, right? And it doesn't work. And we feel more burdened, more pressured. Life is heavy. We are doubting ourselves and our sense of purpose, and it feels like you make 3 steps back, 3 steps forward and 5 steps back. So you say, I'm really going to do this. I'm really going to do the mindset work and more gratitude. And I'm really, like, this time I'm really going to stick to my morning routine. I'm going to get there. Okay. Now there's core misalignment and the pretense. There is a pretense. You're not true to who you are. You're not living the life you should be living. You're not showing up authentically. And at some point, hopefully, for many of us, it leads to rock bottom, okay? And when you hit rock bottom, for many, many people, that's a good thing, because they say, I give up, I don't know. And their whole identity just sort of like unravels. And when we have nothing to lose, that tends to be a really, really good place, because then we're building from completely nothing. When you lose everything and your whole identity and your whole business falls apart, and relationships and marriage and kids stop talking to you, and like everything happens, it can be really traumatic. But now you're like, well, what am I? Who am I? When I have nothing, now you can create from nothing and really create anything, right? And that's a beautiful place, and that it can really be, it can really mean something magical can happen out of that. If you're willing to let go, if you're willing to see it as the opportunity that it is, okay? For a lot of people, I live in Costa Rica, and there's so many people who came to Nosara to start over with their life. And it's so beautiful to watch, be it, widows who have lost their husbands, or people who are divorced, or people who are completely starting over, or their life fell apart, their business fell apart, or something happened in their life. They're starting over. It's like, what am I doing? Well, might as well live in Costa Rica. Not that everybody should live in Costa Rica, but it's kind of cool, It's just really, really beautiful, and the community is like all about healing and all that. So um, back to what I was saying though. The rock bottom can be a really beautiful thing. Okay, so because when you hit a rock bottom, you say, okay, I can't really figure my way out of confusion. I've tried this, it didn't work. And I'm like letting all these attachments, everything that I was, I let it fall apart. I let it fall apart. I let it go away. Okay. So that is when you just make your first step. And sometimes the first step is just saying, you know what? I don't even know. I don't know what my purpose is. I have no idea. I am lost and I'm confused. And I don't know. Like, is this the path that I'm supposed to be on? And you start asking those questions. And you start questioning, is this really it? Am I really, really, really the path that I should be on? Am I really happy? Am I experiencing love and joy and freedom? And am I truly where I know I can be? Am I truly aligned with my soul? And when the answer is no, the first step is to admit, tell the truth, and say, take a deep breath and say, wow, okay, 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 let's start over. Let's start from scratch. Let's see what we can create. Okay. So I know this is turning a little bit of a long podcast episode. So I think I'm going to break it down into two. So in this part, what I want you to do is self-reflect and say, where am I? Who am I? I know this is a little bit of a deep thinking, but really take a look at your life. Are you really on track? If you really, really, really have to be so honest with yourself, is there a part of you that is faking it? Is there a part of you that is faking that you know your purpose? Because that's such a popular thing. Like, everybody's like, purpose, what's my purpose? What's my purpose? And it's like, yes, we know what our purpose is when we're a business. Do you really know? Are you totally aligned with who you are? Are you living a completely authentic life on all levels, right? Or or are you ready to look and say, wow, like, yeah, I'm a little bit confused and I'm a little bit lost. I don't know. And it's a beautiful thing to admit that and say, okay, I'm going to see where it takes me, but that's the first step. Okay. So I'm going to leave you with that, and then we're going to continue in a few days with the second episode and continue the series.